And hello fellow Tankers, Space Bandit here with another episode of World of Tanks, and today we're gonna talk about map Pilsen. Map Pilsen is an interesting map. It's not one of the best maps in the game, but I still think it's quite decent. Because there are spots on this map that are pretty good for both sides or both spawns, although I gotta tell you that I do prefer the west spawn on this map because of that incline or ridge line at the 5 line, because from this position, if you have good gun depression, you can actually poke over that ridge and you can use your gun depression to shoot, you know, pretty much across the map. But one mistake that the east side is making on this map is pushing down low down the A and B lines, because there's a position here that I'm gonna go to, and it's, you know, this position. Good players will use this position all the time because you get early shots of damage here. If you get yourself here, you can use your gun depression and not overexpose your tank. And the tanks that are crossing or coming into the west side of the map will be under fire, like this Object 268. And I find that a lot of players like that position A5 over there, but guys, that position just doesn't work. Don't ever go into this position, because you're just going to be taken out very early in the game, and yeah, you're going to go back in the garage and you're going to cry about how shitty your teams are, but in reality, you just picked the wrong position to be in. As you can see here, I'm going to work this guy very easy. I'm just going to use my gun depression, lose my 6th sense, and then come back and just feast on him. But everyone coming into this position has shots at this guy. Now, one thing to note is that this position is not already safe. Artie has shots in here, and Artie, if knowledgeable, will pound you here in this position. But again, the shots that you have here across the map are just spectacular. So the disadvantage of the east side is the fact that they do have ridgeline over there as well, but it's a more difficult ridgeline to grasp. So if you're a new player, it is much easier for you to play from this side than it would be from the other side, because that ridgeline over there is a lot taller, and you have to find proper positions to get into so that you can use your gun depression and minimize how much of your tank is visible. Okay, so progression. We're going to talk about it next, because on this map usually the opposition likes going into C6, but in this situation none of their tanks pushed into position C6, because if they did, our medium tank that's currently at A7 would be spotting them. Also, I'm not spotting anything else over here, so that gives me a cue to move up here. And once I move up into this area here, it is dangerous because you can get shot across from positions G9, H9, or even position G5. But as you notice, we have control over position G4, so no one's gonna shoot me from G5. And those guys that are currently sitting at H9 or G9, they're not paying attention to me because they're fighting our guys that are in G4. This gives me opportunity to move up into this position here. And I'm going to use those pillars in the middle as a little bit of cover. I mean, they're not going to cover my tank entirely, but if I need any type of protection, I'm sure I can micro position in a way that it will be really difficult shot for this shit barn even to hit me. But at this point, he's not even paying attention to me. He just wants to get away and not get shot. So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna move up even further. Now we're gonna try to get rid of this guy here first, but he gets taken out. We're gonna get closer into this wall here in the middle, and from here you can get your spots across Although from earlier position you could do that too. But here you can poke even further, spot the guys on the ridge line, and try to shoot them. But I'm looking for shots right now. That's all I'm doing. I'm trying to take out that TD that's behind the wall over here, this bar, and we managed to take him out. At the same time, Artie's looking at me. That's funny. Wouldn't expect Artie to be looking at me here. But anyway, now we're going to focus on this light tank. Yes, we shot him down. That was a pretty good shot over there. And yeah, we're going to progress from here. As you notice here, the game is pretty much over. It's going to be cleanup time, especially since I'm in a platoon with Freddy and Taz. So we already know that this game is going to be over. Next move is take out this light tank and then just progress into the ridgeline area where we can pretty much take everybody out. I'm just worried about the shit barn over there, but I'm pretty sure he's not looking at me. So we're going to make our move in a split second. I'm just looking for shots at this CS. Don't have anything there. So now we're going to move up. And we're going to try to clean this up. So yeah, guys, you have to take opportunities and take what's available to you. If you have a tank with decent view range, and especially on this map, you poke over the ridge, you can't spot anything, you know that there's nothing there. That should give you a cue to move up or find another position where you can find your damage. In this situation, we didn't get any extra damage here because our team was really good and cleaned up quite fast over here. But you saw me progress on this map, so you basically look for your opportunities to move up and find little areas where you can cover your tank in case you get targeted by the opposition. So it was an aggressive push by me here in this situation, but sometimes that's what you have to do in order to get your damage and in order to have consistently good games. If you're going for, let's say, marks of excellence, or if you're just trying to get better at the game. You cannot be passive. You have to always look for opportunities to move up and exploit the opposition. Not the biggest game. Chisel is a very good tank, and obviously you can get much better games than this, but it just shows you the play that I made on this map and how I was able to read the opposition's movements and move up at the proper time. Okay, now we're gonna move to the second game that I have for you guys, and this time we are in T110E4, Tier 10 American TD. I'm platoon with Freddy FMB over here, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna try to make a play from this side of the map, and I'll show you usually what the team does when they spawn on this side. In the last game, the opposition didn't do this, and they suffered, and basically because they exposed the flank, we were able to move up and clean up quite quickly. Now in this situation, we're gonna take a more aggressive position, and our friendlies are gonna do similar thing, except we're not gonna go into area A5, which I told you was not very good. We're gonna go into area C6. Now area C6 is probably not the best either, because you can get crossfire into this position from across the map from position H6 if the opposition really pushes hard. Also, it is possible that you will get overcrowded here, because it could be that most of the Reds will push into this area of the map, then swing around the building and take you out of the game. But in this situation, I do have a few friendlies, and I am in platoon with Freddy, so I know he's gonna come up here and try to be aggressive on the D line. So he's gonna take aggressive position there, and I'm gonna try to support from this side, but I cannot really help him at the moment because of this T95E6. So he's a threat to me. If I were to push towards position C5 in order to help Freddy with crossfire, this T95E6 would be shooting into me. So I have to be really smart over here. At the same time, there are two RDs in play as well. Once you go around the building and into the open, those RDs can shoot at you. You have to keep that in mind as well. So the first priority is to take this guy out of the game. If we can put another shell into him, get him down in health, that's exactly what we're going to try to do. We see his cupola, so we're going to punch that cupola right there. And now we're going to back up. Now we realize there's this T55A. And guys, when you play this thing, don't sit sideways towards a TD with a big gun, because that's exactly what happens. You're just going to get deleted. And he got deleted pretty much one shot because he wasn't playing his tank properly. So now that this side is clear, and I'm not spotting anyone ahead of me, I can surprise these guys over here. And that's exactly what happened. I surprised both of these guys, put the shell into Chieftain T95. They tracked me, but I repaired my track quickly so that I can back up and not lose any HP, and that was key. But now, because they know that I could be poking from around the corner here, that position is broken for me. You have to keep that in mind, because if I were to poke out around the corner here, I'm gonna get shot at, not only by the Chieftain, but also by the Waffle E100. And last thing you want is get clipped out by Waffle E100. So I'm gonna get a little bit of downtime over here. I'm just gonna sit and enjoy watching the game for a little bit. And I'm sure Freddy is probably not happy with that, because he's fighting hard over there, and unfortunately he got taken out. But I had no choice at this point but to just wait it out a little bit and see what happens. The opposing team just has too many TDs, and if I start pushing here, I can get shot from left if those tanks are still sitting at position D4, or I can get caught in the middle of the field and get shot at by TDs that are sitting in C1, D1 area. They might change their position, all of a sudden start shooting at me. And you know what? Tier 10, you can pretty much die in no time. So those TDs have big alpha guns. But as you notice here, I looked at the map and I realized that the Waffle has moved into position G4. And because he's not here anymore, I'm safe to move up further. No one's spotting me here, so I'm gonna start the cleanup over here. I don't have much help with me, which is a problem. But if I can catch these guys one by one, and I'm full HP at this point in time, I should be able to clean this area up quite quickly. So this Valor puts a shell into me, but we're able to take him out of the game. Now we're gonna reload, obviously fix our ammo rack, and we're gonna move up to the next customer. And this time will be FV 4005. Now, there's no way this guy can one-shoot me, because I know he's got a 1400 alpha gun with AP, and with Hesh, there's no way he's gonna be able to pen me. So we took that shot. He's shooting Hesh anyway, so we're gonna take him out of the game. No, we can't, because our friend is demolish him. And now object 268 version 5, he misses his shot. We're gonna put a shell into his ass right there, and we're gonna hide behind this dead FV and reload. But pretty much the game is over at this point, because we ended up winning this side as well as the other side of the map. So the opposition didn't do that well in this situation, and we secured the win for the team. Unfortunately, we couldn't get the last shadow damage there, but hey, that's the way it goes. Anyway, guys, couple average games on this map, but I just wanted to show you how I play it and strategically what's the thinking here with respect to where to progress on this map, because that's the main thing. It is really hard to progress on this map. In many cases, I see games where they end in a standstill. One team sits on their side, the other team sits on the other side. Nobody wants to make a move. But the main thing here is that you can make a move if you think logically in this game. If you understand lanes of fire, isolation, where you can get shot from, where you cannot. What is the danger to your tank in any given situation? Just isolate one flank so you can focus on the other. That's the main thing. Anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. That's it for now. Until next time, happy tanking, Space Bandit, checking out.